What is up, everybody? Welcome to Sunday Fun Day here at Happy Hour Hoops. The best Sunday Fun Day you could ask for is the second round of the NCAA tournament. We are here. It is Jake Micah, as always, here at Happy Hour Hoops, joined by Meerkat. We have been breaking down the bracket all weekend. We're finally on a Sunday afternoon. Like this is my favorite. Like there's a couple Sundays. I mean, obviously Super Bowl Sunday, but that's like a different level. But like Master Sunday and any March Madness Sunday is just great. Like spring is in the air, the sun is out, and we're sitting here watching college basketball all day long. It's been great so far. And the best part is today's only the first day of the second round. We get a nice Monday boost tomorrow going. But we're here to break it all down, and we're going to start off here today with the biggest upset of the tournament so far, the first number one seed down and out, Illinois, losing to Loyola Chicago. Bill Raftery put it perfectly. This isn't just about divine intervention, people. They actually played some great basketball today. So Meerkat, we both were very heavily invested into Illinois today and in our brackets. How are you reacting to that game the whole time?
It was gross, man. I don't know what to say. I was so confident in Illinois, especially after seeing their first game, how they played going into the tournament. I was just like, they're so in tune right now. And they came out and, Loyola came out just firing so much energy, just swarming guys all over the court. And I think Illinois wasn't really ready for that. And they started getting panicky on offense early. And, once they went down at the end of that first half, there was no looking back. And Io just – I don't know what was up today. 6 turnovers. You saw his shooting, not great. Kofi even was like, until the second half, not looking too great. They were just – there's a few times, you have a guy triple covered on Illinois just going up with it for a layup when you got guys over on the arc and stuff. They looked panic. It reminded me of St. Bonaventure yesterday, honestly. Just not that – Loyola was playing absolutely incredible because, they played a great game, though. I'm not going to take anything away from them, but Illinois just looked lost.
Yeah, dude. It was just such reckless offense. Like I was sitting there watching with my brother, and I'm just saying to him, like, look, they can get to the rim, they can get all this action going, and then they just throw some crazy shit up at just prayers. They were throwing prayers up all day long. It's like they had no answer for any pressure that Loyola was bringing to them. Loyola played at their pace literally the entire game. Like it was right from the start. They just jumped out and just maintained that the whole way through. And like you brought up, man, I was disappointed in Io's performance today. It just looked like he was just forcing everything. Cullen here, exactly. Io played terrible. They didn't have they didn't have that swagger. They did not have that confidence. Like you could tell that they were tense right away in that game, like knowing that they're playing against this team, this smaller team that's going to want to come for their heads, obviously, if they're from their in-state matchup, everything like that. And just right when it started going downhill, it just kept snowballing for them, and then they just couldn't come back. And Kofi too, man. Like at the end of that game, he just looked exhausted. Like he couldn't even get up and down the floor.
Yeah, it was a rough scene, man. I just obviously I bet on them today. I had my futures on them. I had them in all of my brackets winning, and that sucks. My gambling soul's leaving my body once again. I think I might retire, but I'm just disappointed I'm not going to see these guys play anymore, too. I loved watching Kofi and Io this year together, and they're both going to be moving on to the NBA, obviously apart, and just wanted to see what this Illinois team could do. I thought it'd be real fun, and today they just showed they didn't live up to it. That I love the Big Ten, and it's just it's not a great week for the Big Ten. Yeah,
Big Ten is fraudulent, apparently, bro. Like it's evident, or they just were not ready for outside competition, man. I don't know. It's looked bad, and now your Wolverines are the last hope tomorrow night against LSU.
Yeah.
So we'll see what goes on there. The only other game that's happened today so far was Baylor, another Big Ten, not really a fraud team. I think this is what we expected from Wisconsin, but Baylor handled Wisconsin that whole game. I mean, that was pretty much the performance we expected from Baylor. They just were deadly offensively, had an answer for everything off for Wisconsin. Wisconsin wasn't hot from three like they were against UNC either. So pretty much the expected result. And now Baylor's got to be licking its chops, looking ready to get through that region now.
Yeah, they, like you said, they were in control of the game the whole time. It's not like it was a 20-point blowout, but like they just controlled it. They held the pace when they had the double-digit lead for pretty much the entire game. They looked good, and they were just shooting really well too, which was encouraging to see out of them. I think they shot almost 50% from three as a team. I mean, yeah, they did, and they just looked good today.
Yeah, it was the exact kind of like complete effort you would hope for from them going forward. And like I said, that bracket, that side without Ohio State there, like it's shaping up for them to have a nice road to the Final Four. And then of course the number one on their side's out too. So Baylor, good day for Baylor so far. So yeah, we got games left tonight, 6 games left tonight. So let's get into our picks and what we think's coming up, and we'll just go right along in order here. So opening up here, tip off in about under 10 minutes now. The Syracuse Orange, they're hanging around with day 2 again, second round matchup as they face former Big East foe West Virginia, the 3 seed. What are you thinking here? Because both these teams, they love to press, they love the 2-3s, they love to play zone. Like it's both weird matchups with these two teams and 2 coaches that know each other so well.
Yeah, I'm siding with Huggy Bear here. I'm not going to actually make a play on the game because I just don't want to bet against the Syracuse team right now. Who knows if Buddy Boeheim's just going to come out absolutely on fire. I mean, it's a weird one. I think West Virginia should handle it. But like you said, it's going to be a weird matchup with the defenses, very similar ran teams, 2 coaches that know each other. So it's going to be a good game to watch, I think. But it's one of those like avoid really taking a side on for me.
Yeah, so it's -4 right now for West Virginia, and the line is 147.5 or total. Yeah, that line is, I wouldn't touch either of that. I don't trust either of these teams enough to put a wager on there. I am interested to see Syracuse if Buddy Boeheim can kind of get loose like he did the other night, because I don't know if West Virginia has an answer if that comes up to them. But I just think, yeah, man, I have no read on this game. It's going to be a good game, I think, but it's just I was shocked at Syracuse's performance against San Diego State the other night, and I know West Virginia is going to come out and bring it. So I think it's going to be a good one. I would lean towards Syracuse just to take the points, honestly, but I would not. I've got like 30% confidence with that, like nothing crazy. Next up at 6:10, we have tip with Arkansas, the 3 seed, hosting Texas Tech. Got a read on this right now. Texas Tech is a 2-point favorite, and this feels like another one of those games that I literally have no idea what to expect in this game. It's going to be a shootout, but I have no idea what to expect minute to minute.
Absolutely no idea what's going to happen in this one. Like I can't even. I would have to pick this game with the dart. It'd be a better decision because it's just Texas Tech's getting a little bit of the money. I think they opened as 1-point favorites. Now they're 2-point favorites, so a little bit of money going on them. They look good, but you saw what Arkansas did in their second half of their first round matchup. I mean, they look good. They can go on a streak. They can catch fire at any time, but they can also be cold. It's going to be a shootout, like you said, and I'm not. Another game I want no part in betting on it.
Dude, that's what I like. That first half has got to be why the money's on Texas Tech right now. Like that line is shifted over that way because I can't imagine another reason why Arkansas would be an underdog in this game. I like Arkansas's team more. But it's just they could go, if they go cold against this team, Texas Tech could light them up and be up 20 before they know it. Like Texas Tech has played with all these big boys and been able to shoot with them, been able to run with them, everything. So the pace isn't going to scare Texas Tech at all if Arkansas tries to run it up and get quick shots up and everything. I'm leading Arkansas just because I need it for my bracket at this point. Everything else is kind of ripped apart. I need the Arkansas pick, but another one of these toss-up games. That's why I love these second round games, because sometimes you get these matchups, and this could be the best game in the tournament right now. Like this could be the best game of the tournament so far. I think it has that kind of potential.
Yeah, it might be like really high scoring, super exciting. Like this is going to be a close one. Could come down to the wire. We all want to see buzzer beaters in March, so keep an eye on this game for something like that. Yeah,
we might be lucky with that one. All right, let's go on to Rutgers and Houston. Rutgers is a 7.5-point underdog to the Cougars. I really like Rutgers in this matchup. I liked what they showed me against Clemson. I liked what they've showed me throughout the tournament and everything like that. But Houston, I just can't get a read on Houston. Like the other night, it was it was pretty easy for them. But this might be the first time we've really seen them get tested this year.
Yeah, this is going to be one that just comes down to like Houston really just converting all their opportunities, because when I'm looking at it from like a gambling standpoint, I was doing my research this morning. Houston's like the second best offensive rebounding team in the country, while Rutgers is in the bottom 100 of the entire country at defensive rebounding. And Rutgers' best rebounder, Miles Johnson, is questionable. So even if he goes, he might be little weaker in that paint area there. So if Houston can really eat up those offensive boards, which is like a huge part of their success this season, and convert instead of being, reckless, I think they cover. But, Rutgers is one of those frisky teams, and it's March, and we keep seeing these underdogs play teams close, or, hitting the spreads, covering. And so I think I'm going to lean Houston here, but it's going to be a weird one because of what Rutgers is.
Yeah, Rutgers, it's just – They could be one of the Cinderella picks in this, because they have that potential to just go off in these games, but we haven't seen it against these top level teams. Like it hasn't all come together yet for Rutgers in one of these games. But man, that's another one. Like that 7.5 too is like right exactly where I could think to see it. Like I could just see Houston being in control the whole time, but Rutgers just hanging around enough to keep it interesting at the end and cut backdoor. Like, oh man, 7.5. All these lines around 7, 8, 6, like they terrify me for these games. Like just absolutely terrified them. So let's go here. Oral Roberts and Florida. Do you think these Oral Roberts guys have what it takes to keep this Cinderella run going? Because I was really impressed by their guard play, and honestly, like Florida snuck out of that game, that first game of the tournament, but they didn't look impressive at all. They look like a team that could be ripe to just get caught again. And Oral Roberts did not look afraid of Ohio State at all. They're definitely not going to be afraid of Florida tonight.
Yeah, Oral Roberts is going to come out firing again. They can hit shots. They can score in a variety of ways. We saw it in the first round. Do they have a shot to keep the Cinderella story going? I think so. I'm going to take Oral Roberts in the point. Florida's going to be – Florida looked bad in that first half of their first game. They played the first game of the tournament. That caught a little break there, ended up winning. The key to Florida just, even covering today is Trey Mann catching fire. He could score, 35 points in a game if he, gets that heat there. But will he? I don't know. It's just going to be one of those things where if Oral Roberts, catches that heat, gets an early lead again, and consistently keeps hitting and forces Florida to, have to play catch up, have to throw up some shots they might not want, get a little uncomfortable, which they excel at, then I like Oral Roberts a lot today. I'm taking the spread.
Yeah, bro, I'm with you on that, because the issue that Ohio State showed me was that they didn't have the extra gear to just defend Oral Roberts when they started that onslaught. Like when Oral Roberts started coming with haymakers at them, Ohio State didn't really have a counter for them. I don't know if Florida has that counter either in them. Honestly, the team I've seen Florida this year is so inconsistent that if they get smacked around a little bit, like there's going to be swings in this game where Oral Roberts has chances to just take over and take the momentum. And I don't know if I trust how Florida's going to respond in that moment. So I'm with you. Take Oral Roberts in the points. Take it for the underdog story anyways. We've only got a 15 and a 14 left going on here. So those are the teams we're looking for. And then the other low seeds, or high seeds, I guess I should say, around North Texas and facing Villanova. Villanova, who barely escaped against Winthrop in their round one game, and then North Texas, who was able to just hang around with Purdue and then basically shut them out during overtime and just close them out. So a little disappointing performance by Villanova and a surprise performance by North Texas. So what's your read on this with Villanova as a 6-point favorite?
I want to take North Texas in the points. I want to see the Cinderella here. They have the potential to at least cover. I just don't have faith in Villanova this year, honestly. Yeah. It might be one I just avoid or maybe tease a few points here or there. I think North Texas can really get it done here. But, Villanova has been in this position before. That program itself, just more experienced team, more experienced coach and stuff. That stuff does really play into effect here. But I'm going to be rooting for North Texas.
Yeah, I really have not liked this Villanova team all year, and especially Villanova in the tournament, even after winning national titles and everything, it's still just the Villanova years of past just always haunt me when thinking about these like mid-tier lower Villanova teams. So I would ride with North Texas. It's more fun, and they had a lot of energy the other night. They were a fun team to watch and get behind. And this Villanova team this year is like the exact opposite. Honestly, to me, I don't know. Like they just don't do anything for me. So yeah, I don't have a read on it. I think 6, like again, like I was saying earlier, that's like the perfect line for it. I think North Texas is going to keep it close. We'll see what happens with that. And then the nightcap here, the last game of the night, is Cade Cunningham and Oklahoma State hosting the red hot Oregon State Beavers. A lot of orange and black going on in this matchup. A lot of orange just in general today going on. But what is your read? It's another 6-point favorite for Oklahoma State. I think that I would normal regular season game, I might lean Oklahoma State here, but the way the Beavers have been playing and the way that Oklahoma State started out slow, we might just be in for a slugfest to end the night here.
Yeah, I want to take Oklahoma State. I'm telling myself that's my bailout from Illinois. Take it. But just Cade didn't look good in the first game. He ended up with 15 points, but he shot like 3 of 14 maybe or something like that. He shot awful. He didn't look good until that second half where he still wasn't great, but they did enough. They pulled out the win. This is going to be a close one because Oregon State looked really good in that first game against Tennessee. That's a big upset right there. Like Tennessee, I thought was a team that could sneaky make some noise, as a higher seed that people really weren't focusing on. And what do you know? So I think this is a great nightcap tonight. It's going to be a game that I might end up taking a little bit of a teased Oklahoma State or talking myself into it. And it comes down to, Cunningham being the guy he's been all year, being that number 1 NBA pick that people are expecting him to be, and not what he did in the first round. So I think this is just going to be – we have such a good slate of games to watch tonight. I think a lot of these lines are spot on.
Oh, yeah, these lines are great. We're getting into the nitty-gritty here. Yeah, Cullen says Cade's going to go off, but the dart's going to prevail. That's what I'm rooting for. I'm rooting for the Oklahoma State win, but we need the dart to keep it rolling here with another +6 cover. That's what we're hoping for. So, yeah, that's going to be a great game, great nightcap. And then we'll be back at it here tomorrow. Tomorrow we got another set of games on Monday, which I honestly, it was weird when the tournament didn't start on Thursday, but I'm okay with the Monday like turnaround and we get a full day of games starting at noon tomorrow with Iowa, Oregon. I mean, I'll take that all day long. But we just had tip in Syracuse, West Virginia. They just tipped about a minute ago. So we will wrap it up here on the Sunday Fun Day at Happy Hour, the March Madness check-in for the day. This is Jake Micah. Oh wow, I can't even get that word out. We're just leaving here. It's me, it's Jake Micah. We got Meerkat who's been joining us all weekend. Appreciate you helping out, and just go enjoy the games, guys. Stay hydrated and enjoy the slate of games tonight.